let's look at how you can leverage ChatGPT for your LinkedIn profile, and also how to write a quick LinkedIn article using ChatGPT as well, too, as far as our social business presence leveraging LinkedIn. So let's start with that. So let's go to the ChatGPT here, and we're going to look at LinkedIn, right? So let's say let's start with some basics, right? What are the key components of a LinkedIn? Actually, I wonder where, but they'll figure it out. What are the key components of a LinkedIn profile, right? So, just list the different components, and you can go through and you can build out your components as far as when you're doing a LinkedIn profile. Now, many of you probably already have a LinkedIn profile, so I'm just really doing this to kind of get that first basic outline stuff. Then I'll start taking sections. I'm not going to go through every bullet point or anything like that. I'm just going to pick one and show you how we can expand on that, right? So let's say for your headline, right? The short phrase that appears just below your name on your profile, it should briefly summarize your current position and skills, right? So maybe we would say, write a headline for an accountant. Let's make it for a cost accountant. All right, let's see what that does. This is just general now. You would want to put in your own specific stuff, but let's say if you're a cost accountant, which is different than other types of accounting, here are they're going to give you some few options things that you can put in your headline, or, how you might want to make that look better, right? Cost accountant with 5 years experience, you put in how many years you've got, expert in financial planning, all that. You could take that, or you could say, could you give me more? And they'll give you more, and you can keep expanding on that as far as some different things for the headline. And you might find words you like proactive cost accounting. You might like that, or you might like the words financial modeling. So you can pull from those types of ideas and build your own headline, right? Or same thing with skills. So let's take what is a sample for a skills section for a cost accountant. Now, your own skills. You probably won't even need this, but if you're a cost accountant. But again, this can be real helpful as far as reminding you of some things. I know my wife is an accountant. She's not a cost accountant, but she's an accountant, and she forgets all the stuff that she does, right? And then she could take that and say, oh yeah, forecasting. She does forecasting. So you could explain that, build that out more. Could you give a brief summary of forecasting in cost accounting, right? So if you're really struggling for the words yourself, this is where ChatGPT can help start building an outline for you, start building it for you, in where you've got something already kind of started there. So it's really saving us a lot of time and helping us be more productive as we build out, let's say, our LinkedIn profile. So those are examples for a LinkedIn profile, and this gets, maybe you might want to cut that back a little bit, for example. All right, so now let's talk about a LinkedIn article, right? So it's the same kind of thing. Let's say you want to write in fact, let's go ahead and start a new chat here because it's LinkedIn, but it's a little different. Let's say, could you, see, I'm so polite, right? Could you write a LinkedIn article about work-life balance, or whatever it is you might want to have, right? So you could do a lot of research on work-life balance. You probably have your own ideas. Maybe you've got some good examples that you can put into your article. And this is where your uniqueness as human being comes in versus artificial intelligence, is that you can get the information on kind of that, what is work-life balance, and maybe you can get some examples, some generic examples, but only you can provide your own specific real-life examples. And when people are reading and consuming stuff, they want to know, now it's AI generated. That's helpful for the context sometimes, or certainly help you in terms of development, but they want to know, your personal stories and all of that, right? So here's a nice little article about work-life balance, and it says, I'm setting boundaries, make time, enjoy, take breaks, communicate with your employer, all this different stuff, and give you an example of turning off your email or phone, or some examples. And then we could say, you might have your own examples of how do you actually practice self-care? Do you exercise? What kind of exercising do you do? What works for you? This is where you can build that out. Or we could ask ChatGPT to expand on it. Could you expand on number one, right? So, oops, too many requests in 1 hour. I gotta try later. I got too many requests. So that's an idea as far as how you could use ChatGPT in terms of helping you, write your blog articles or do whatever you might want it to do.